it's just really hard to put them at that spot with having a player like Giannis, who is a top 3 player in the NBA and in the world. I just can't see them getting that low if he's healthy.
Whom else?
Yeah, who do you have there? I'm kind of interested.
On this team.
Who do I have there?
Yeah, who'd you have in the spot?
I had the Celtics.
Oh, nah, bro. Nah. GMLB family. First things first. Season 4 is upon us. Shout out Victor for that pun. Vic said that before the pod. You knew I was going to say that.
I actually forgot.
So it just kind of came out of nowhere. Season 4, GMLB family is here. This is how many years have you guys been doing this? I know I joined late. What did we say? 2.5? What was it?
I think we're about 2.5 years in the making.
2.5 years of Good Morning Let's Basketball. So today, we are beginning our 4th season covering the NBA. This is the 2025-2026 NBA season we're covering. I am your host, Mike Miles. On my right, that is the founder and the brains behind the whole operation for 2.5 years now. That's Vic. Vic, what's up?
It's a faux season. Let's get it, boys.
Bro tapped in. Below me, that is the self-proclaimed podcast equilibrium and viral Dunkin' barista. Hey, that's Daniel. Daniel, what's up?
How we doing, y'all? Excited to talk some ball going into this year. We're only 1 season away of making YouTube videos to finally change our name to good. I don't even want to say that. I was gonna make a joke that we're gonna change from Good Morning Let's Basketball to like Happy Noon Let's Basketball. But
right.
I didn't think about it enough.
All right, Daniel botches his intro, but hey, that's what we do over here at GMLB. We persevere. Finally, on my right as well, that's Big Macedonia, GMLB's chief of security from the island of relevancy. That's main event Kev. Kev, welcome back for season 4. What's going on?
Scary hours have officially arrived. I got a better mic and a worse camera. We're off to a great start for season 4. Seasons always have shaky starts. Look at the Pacers, look at teams like the Celtics, but they always come through in the end, and that's exactly what's going to happen.
Hell yeah.
I don't know how he always comes up with something like that. But GMLB family, today we have 2 topics to talk about. We're going to begin season 4 in a series where we are ranking the East and the West. These are pre-season rankings. Today we're doing the Eastern Conference from 15 to 1. All the Eastern Conference teams are getting ranked in a finalized GMLB prediction. We'll do a consensus vote. So all of us will have to agree on the vote, and then we'll probably post it to social media. So this won't be each has their own. We all will have one card as GMLB. And after that, the new 2K is coming out. When is it coming out? Is it actually coming out soon? Did it come out? It's been a while since 2K's been relevant, but we're going to do higher or lower on 2K overalls.
September 5th.
September 5th is the release date. Thank you, Vic. So we will be doing higher or unders on overalls. GMLB family, let's get into those Eastern Conference rankings. So, fellas, we're going to go from 15 to 1. Who's starting at the bottom of the barrel? What teams? Who you guys got?
So constructing my list, I have my teams, all the Eastern Conference teams, in 4 groups. I have favorites and frontrunners. That's one group right there. Then I have contenders on the rise, wild card/rebuilding teams, and then 8 through 15 is labeled everybody else. So starting at 15, we're going to start with the everybody else teams. And at 15 for my list, I have Brooklyn, for the simple fact that the ball is not getting passed. And you need a pass. They didn't really have too amazing of an offseason. They have the whole thing with Cam Thomas going on. And they added MPJ. So I could see them being bottom of the barrel again and possibly getting a top 3 pick. But the way the NBA lottery works, they'll probably get like the 10th pick, which would be their luck.
It's funny you say Brooklyn because I had the exact same team at my 15. I just feel like they're due for a really bad season. And that started off this season, or this off season, with Cam Thomas drama, them getting Michael Porter Jr. They got rid of Cam Johnson. We already know that. I just don't know how that roster is going to really do, and I don't think they're going to be that great. I feel like that some of the lower teams like the Wizards or the Hornets can outperform them this year.
Yeah, you're not going to hear too much debate from me on this one. I also think that Brooklyn is going to be like the bottom of the barrel. Just because, like Kevin said, when we're talking about those bottom of the barrel teams, and I look at the rosters for like the Hornets, and not really the Wizards, but other teams, let's say. I don't see the Nets being able to pull off a better season than like, again, I'm going to go to the Wizards with like Bub Carrington, CJ McCollum, Chris Middleton. That is a better team to me than what the Brooklyn Nets have put together. So,
I was going to say, Victor said they're due for a really bad season. I'm not quite sure what you would describe their previous seasons, but a real bad one. I didn't even factor in Cam Johnson leaving. To be honest, that just completely went over my head. My decision was solely based off of MPJ and Cam Thomas are on the same team.
Okay. I was pretty set on putting the Wizards here. I know they made some moves, and I guess they could take a jump. But I think I agree, actually. Looking at the Brooklyn Nets roster again, seeing that you do bring up a good point. They did lose Cam Johnson, their best 3-and-D player. But they also did pick up some pieces. Like, they do have Terrence Mann on the roster now. Not saying that's a complete game changer, obviously. There also are a lot of guys I've never heard of before. They have Drew Timme on the roster. That's a name.
That's a name.
And I think the fact that I just brought up Drew Timme talking about NBA rosters, no offense to the man, but I think we're gonna put the Brooklyn Nets at 15. I don't really have much of an argument here. Jordy Fernandez will he'll remain a coach for a while, though. I do like their culture over there. Even if they don't have the greatest talent, actually the worst talent in the East, I do think their culture is still better than Washington's.
Definitely true. I do like Jordy Fernandez as a coach, too. I think he's pretty solid. But honestly, I feel like all of our teams, 15 to like 10, 11, are going to be fairly similar. And I feel like 13 to 15, for me at least, are pretty interchangeable. So going on to 14, that's where I had the Wizards. I was really debating between 14 and 15. Them and Brooklyn and my team at 13 are completely interchangeable. I think any of those three teams are going to end up in those spots. But Wizards, the only reason I really put them above Brooklyn is because I like their younger talent a little bit better. And I feel like they just play team ball a little bit better than Brooklyn. It's not saying much, which is why I have them at 14 here. And I could see Alex Sarr making a pretty decent jump in his second season coming out. So,
yeah, I mean, oh, sorry, go ahead, Vic.
No, I was just saying, did anybody else have Wizards? Because I had a different team, but I'll let you guys go with your case.
No, go ahead. Who'd you have?
No. I mean, Daniel was going first, so I mean, he can go first.
Just go.
Someone.
I had the Hornets at 14th, and that's mainly due to them. They've been one of the bottom teams the past couple of seasons in the league. They recently just drafted Con Kneppel, and they lost Mark Williams. They got Mason Plumlee that brought in. But I think the biggest factor for this Hornets team has always been health. LaMelo Ball has never really been healthy. Brandon Miller got an injury last season, and we saw him rest of the season he was out, I think, early into the second half of the season. I can't remember what date it was. But then LaMelo got hurt and got sidelined for the rest of the season. It's just always the health is an issue. And then I feel like the roster isn't really constructed well right now for them to be a higher seeded team. So that's why I had them 14th.
Okay, that's interesting. Because I also had the Hornets 14th. I don't quite see this team again. I mean, you pretty much covered everything that I wanted to say, but the biggest thing for me was the LaMelo Ball injuries. The team really struggles without LaMelo Ball on the floor, and I'm not convinced he's going to be healthy. I feel like we've seen the best of Bridges. I really do. And their offseason moves included guys like Pat Connaughton and Colin Sexton. So I'm not really convinced that those guys are huge difference makers. Colin Sexton is obviously a great piece. They also got Spencer Dinwiddie. It's like they're doubling down on offense. This team is really constructed to play one side of the ball. So for that reason, I'm going to put them 14. I just think they need another draft pick. I know Khan he had a great summer league. And I'm sure he'll contribute a lot to this team, but I just don't think the pieces are there. I think the Wizards are just farther along in their process, and bringing in those vets, getting rid of Jordan Poole and Kuzma, like that might be the start of a culture shift. So I'm going Hornets at 14 as well.
I don't want to be the. I was just going to say, I don't want to be the swing vote here because we're kind of split, I think, right now. Because I was going to put the Hornets a little bit higher. I was going to put them at 13. And while I do think the Wizards have like a promising mix of young and old stars that could work, I think they need a lot more time to develop. Whereas the Hornets, I feel like they're kind of on the cusp of something, just not very much of anything. So, I like the chances of the Horn with LaMelo playing healthy. And, I don't even remember. I mean, it's such a word mouthful, but the Summer League's MVP or like finals MVP, Con Kneppel. I think this team has promise, but as for how much, not a lot. But like I said, I think their chances of being higher in the rankings than the Wizards is high. So, yeah.
Seems like all of us pretty much had Hornets and Wizards at either 13 or 14. I had the Wizards at 13 on my list. Really, the only reason I put them above Washington is I was just assuming that this team is going to be fully healthy on top of their additions. I just kind of like them a little bit more than the Wizards. But to get us out of this little gray area here, I would be fine with putting Wizards 14 or Hornets 14 and then Wizards 13.
Yeah,
doesn't really matter that whole lot when you're at the bottom like that.
Hey, we got to be accurate, bro. We need one thing this podcast needs is some dang credibility and also just some credit because we've predicted a lot of things, man. We've predicted a lot of things in advance, but.
Can I say something though?
Go ahead.
I do think that when I was originally doing my rankings, I thought this was a lot harder this year and previous years, just because there's just been a lot of changes in the Eastern Conference with a lot of the teams dealing with a lot of injuries and just new faces and new places and stuff, and a lot of teams revamping their offseason. And I just felt like the East was a lot difficult to rank this year. I don't know how you guys felt.
Yeah, it was definitely harder than most years. I will agree with you on that.
We'll say I am looking at my list currently right now, and I'm like second guessing it in a way just because it looks so weird, factoring in injuries and just everything else. Like, I don't really know how much I like it, but either way, so we got Nets at 15. Are we riding with Hornets at 14 and Wizards at 13? Is that our consensus here?
I'm going to propose something. I think the Bulls are in this mix down here this season.
I had them at 12.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
That's where I had them too.
They're better. They're better than all three of those teams, and I firmly believe that they will be better in the season because those teams are just dumpster fires. And the Bulls were at least in the play-in last year and caught fire at the end of the year, and there's a lot of people playing good. So that's where I have them.
Oh man, this one is really tough for me because I really think if the Wizards are 1 year away, I really not from contention. Like, let's not get it twisted here, but they're 1 year away from actually being an extremely solid NBA team. Like, they got Cam Whitmore, Blake Wesley now from the Spurs. Obviously, they have Alex Sarr still. They now acquired Dylan Jones from the Thunder, a guy who really didn't get the minutes needed to actually come out here and play. They just drafted Trey Johnson and AJ Johnson. Like, these guys, they got Malcolm Brogdon on the roster, Malachi Branham now. Like, they got a lot of pieces, dude. They got a lot of pieces now. I don't see why this team can't be be similar to the Spurs last season when they had Wemby. Before Wemby went down.
So you did put a lot of emphasis on next year. They could be solid. But we're talking this upcoming season.
That's what I mean, though.
And I don't think I don't know. I feel like the Bulls definitely have a lot better players in that regard to Washington and Charlotte. The Bulls also don't get injured a whole lot now that they got rid of Lonzo and Levine, which were the only two guys who are really getting hurt like that. Yeah. And I'm expecting some big years out of some of these younger guys, so that's why I had him at 12. I was going to put him at 10, which where they usually rank, but I decided to be a little bit more modest and use my brain a little bit more today. So I was like, they'll probably be 12.
That's where I had them too, just because I feel like they're always somehow damn near in the playoffs, play in every year, I should say. They always find the way to sneak in there, even though we think it's going to be a rebuilding year, but the front office doesn't want that. And they just have the roster to compete where they could be into the play-in, but never be a play-in team or never be a playoff team. They're just really stuck in the middle of that, which sucks. But I do like what Miles said about the Wizards. I could see them being better than the Bulls this season. Maybe this is the year that the Bulls do actually tank.
Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Keep going. My bad.
No, I was just saying I do like some of the pieces that the Wizards have. I think Alex Sarr could take a bit of a leap this year. Bub Carrington as well, and then they add those veterans like C.J. McCollum, Chris Middleton. We're not sure if Chris Middleton is going to stay there. I know they're talking about moving him. He's a favorite to land in Phoenix, but I just think adding those veterans with those young guys are going to help them grow.
I'm just looking
thinking.
There's more to this story than just rosters, but I don't see how you guys look at both of these rosters and think the Bulls roster is better.
Dude, to end last season, they got hot, and they were competing in a lot of games. Granted, a lot of those better teams they were playing were resting a majority of their guys. I get that. But I'm not getting too hung up on the names here for the simple fact that at the end of the season last year, the Bulls looked really good and just looked far better than all of these teams right here. So that's why I had them at 12, essentially.
Yeah.
Because they did make some trades. They haven't had that roster for a whole while now. And they play extremely fast. They were up there with pace. They were up there with three-point shots put up a game. I think that they'll just be able to just outscore a lot of these teams. Well, 13 through 15, I should say.
And I think, and I'm not trying to get too hung up on 12 and 13 here, but I think that's exactly why this team is worse, is because they have the exact same roster. Like, there's no major change made to this roster. And yes, that can be a good thing, except it's Dalen Terry and Julian Phillips. It's not like promising young guys, really. Zach Collins, Javon Carter, these guys just aren't productive NBA players. Matas could take a step, but at the same time, Pat Williams, we've talked so many times on this podcast, he just does not improve, has had virtually the same stats. And then also Vus is another year older too. And we know Vus isn't exactly, he is kind of aging like wine, but there's going to be that year where he takes the step back. So it is possible it's this year as well.
I think he's gonna be gone before the trade deadline.
That's another thing too.
Personally,
Yeah.
yeah,
Maybe. I don't know. This dude's been on the trade. He's doing his Furkan Korkmaz impression right now. He's been on the trade block since they got him, it seems like. But you talk about the Bulls. I don't like how you just jump straight to Julian Phillips. What about like Giddey and Kobe White and Desumu? When you talk about bench guards, no kidding, LaMelo's better. But like some of those guys right there, like they just ended the season super, super strong, and they just look pretty solid. And I just don't see a world where these current Wizards or Hornets are just better than them yet.
Yeah. I guess my final thought is I think we've just seen the most from this Bulls roster, but I don't think we've seen nearly the most from the Wizards. Like if they take the jump this year.
I mean, for sure, the Bulls are like capped out where they're at. They're just stuck in that position that they are at, similar to like how the Hawks have been the last couple of years until they revamped their roster this off season. Just the biggest question for the Bulls is how is Matas going to turn out, and is Noah Essengay how is he going to turn out as well for the Bulls? I mean, it wasn't a pretty start for his his rookie season. Everybody saw the poster. But
oh yeah, bro got postered by Johnny Furphy.
Yeah, and then what's going to happen with Vucevic is going to be a good question as well. I just think once Vucevic happens, or once Vucevic gets off the roster, that's when I can see them coming down in rankings, and that's why I had them at 12th. Otherwise, I would have had them at 10th.
Okay, so the final verdict is Wizards are worse than Bulls, is what I'm hearing, I think.
Yes.
All right, I've made my case. I'm outvoted. That's okay. So we have, right now, we have the Nets at 15, the Hornets at 14, the Wizards at 13, and the Bulls at 12. Okay. Now it's time for me to start writing these down because that was hard to recall. We're only 4 teams in. All right.
Dude, yeah, this 11 spot gets a little sticky.
That's exactly what I was thinking, dude.
It's going to get ugly at this 11 spot. But I'm going to stand on it like I usually do. Dude, I think Milwaukee finishes 11th. I don't know if that's too insane to say, but this team sucks. This team's horrible. They don't have anybody. Giannis can't carry them that much. I had them interchangeably like 11-9, but I could see them going all the way down to 11, maybe even lower. Giannis could get traded. Crazy things happen all the time. Bottom line, this current team they have is hot trash. And I don't see this team being remotely anywhere near decent.
I
which is
actually
why
don't
I have them
hate
at
that.
11.
I don't hate that. I did not think that, but I don't hate that.
This team sucks. They're so bad.
Okay.
And I still have them above the Bulls.
Go ahead.
I was looking at this Bucks roster, and I just, like you said, they're trash, and it was a really tough ranking for me to put them. I just didn't think they were that bad to put at 11.
Bro.
I mean, they could seriously finish 11th, though, which is the crazy thing. It's just really hard to put them at that spot with having a player like Giannis, who is a top 3 player in the NBA and in the world. I just can't see them getting that low if he's healthy.
Whom else?
Yeah, who do you have there? I'm kind of interested.
On this team.
Who do I have there?
Yeah, who'd you have in the spot?
I had the Celtics.
Oh, nah, bro. Nah.
That's crazy because I had the Celtics way higher than that. But, dude, you think the Celtics are going to be worse than the Bucks?
I just feel like I can see the Celtics just completely taking this year off, rebuilding, getting maybe somewhat of a decent draft pick, and then going back next year. I can just really see that happening for them. The Bucks, I just feel like they would want to be more competitive with Giannis there. His time that hourglass is running out. I just feel like they're wanting to be more competitive than the Celtics this year. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
I mean, though I don't really see the Celtics taking an off year intentionally. That's just not their style. And I'll be damned if Joe Mazzulla goes, yeah, we're just going to take it easy this year. Does not seem like the type of guy to say that. Still have Derek White. They still have Brown. Like, have Anthony Simons. Like, they made moves. They can still compete. Or, yeah, compete. I thought I said contend for some reason. Either way, like, we're just getting hung up on Giannis here. Who else is on this team?
They have, okay, let's give him some credit, okay? Gary Trent Jr. was a pretty solid piece in the playoffs for them, all right? And if we're talking about the Bulls can get hot at the end of the season and that counts, then so does Gary Trent's playoff series. Then Miles Turner, okay, solid player on both ends of the floor. He's taken the step back on defense, and he didn't have a great conference or finals. So Portis is Portis. we kind of know how Bobby Portis is. You know, he missed a lot of last season for the illegal usage of whatever he used. Don't quote me on what it is because I don't remember. It was like a PED or something. But are they worse than the Celtics? I think they are. And I don't think I'm biased in saying that. I don't think the Bucks have any direction right now. I like Gary Harris and Taurean Prince, but if that's what we're looking forward to, they lost Brook Lopez.
Don't have Dame. They're way worse than the Celtics.
Yeah. The thing is outside of Derek White, Jaylen Brown, and Anthony Simons, the Bucks roster is actually constructed better. That's where I'm trying to balance like the top heavy weight of the Celtics versus the entirety of the Bucks roster. That's my only like hang up on this, truthfully.
I'm not even sure I agree. Because Simons and Pritchard are still there. Like, I'm going to be honest, Gary Harris and Taurean Prince, you might as well just not even said their names. They're not holding a lot of weight for me. Andre Jackson, too, you've seen him. He was in the dunk contest and he airballed a windmill fast break dunk. I don't know. If the Bucks aren't 11th, I don't see a world where they could be higher. I'm resting my case there because I'm hating a lot.
I think I'm sold. Truthfully, I think I'm sold.
If Giannis goes down
yeah.
with injury or with anything, if he's just mad at the team, gets traded, this team would easily be 15th. Easily.
I don't hate it. Daniel, who do you have in this spot?
I had Pacers.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know, man. You guys are kind of blowing up my list just because, like, I did not have Celtics that low. And Milwaukee, I mean, I could see them dropping for sure, but it's still Giannis, man. And Turner's should help some, who knows how much, but like some. So like I would have put him higher, but now I'm second guessing.
Yeah. Well, he's not rebounding. He's not helping there. So I'm not really quite sure where he's going to help. Like you're saying, like you guys are harping really hard on Giannis here. It's like he's an amazing player. Victor said it. I'm not going to reiterate it. But he's not the type to take a trash team to the playoffs.
Yeah, I just
especially
don't see,
when there's just no compliments around him either. Sorry.
I just don't see where the defense on this team is coming from. I really don't see outside of Giannis and Portis, and like I'm not even crediting Portis that well as a defender. It's really just an offensive based team, and with that being said, it's a bunch of inconsistent offensive players. Cole Anthony, Gary Harris, Kyle Kuzma, Kevin Porter Jr., Taurean Prince. Yeah, it's really, I mean, you could even potentially, I mean, you could throw Gary Trent Jr. in there as well, honestly. He's only 26. That's crazy. Anyway, yeah, it's really just offensive focused on a bunch of guys who really are kind of inconsistent offensive players. There's a lot more shooting on this roster, but they've completely lost their identity. And that was already happening after they traded Drew Holiday. So I am actually casting my vote for Bucks at 11. I actually don't hate that. I don't hate that.
It's up to Daniel and Vic.
Yeah, Vic, what do you think? Because
the thing is too, like I have Pacers right above that. So like I don't hate the Pacers pick as well, but I do see that I could see them finishing a little bit higher. Bucks and Celtics. I do agree with you guys. The roster is a lot worse. I feel like on the Bucks, all they really have is Giannis. The biggest question is how far can we see Giannis taking that roster, and I don't think it's that far. So I mean I'll be okay with putting the Bucks at 11th.
I was gonna say, like, did we have another team that we were kind of weighing our options with at 11, or was it just
at 10? I have the Heat. They could be interchangeable. I feel like the Heat just have a little bit more of a complete roster. They have a lot more of a complete roster than the Bucks do, way more. I like Davion Mitchell. I like Hero. Bam's obviously there. Khalil Ware took a pretty big step at the.
Powell.
Powell too. Now. Yeah, like they took a slight step in the right direction towards the end of the year, just like play style and stuff. So I had them at 10. Them and Milwaukee were pretty interchangeable for me, but then I just factored in rosters and exactly who the Bucks have, or exactly what they don't have, I should say. And that's why I opted to put them below the Heat. And that's why I have the Heat at 10.
I think that's way too low for the Heat.
That's what I think
the
too.
Heat are poised for a great season. I think having them outside of at least the top of the play-in is, when we still have the Celtics and Pacers who are completely injury-ridden, is straight up. I don't think. I disagree.
I mean, the Heat are still in the play-in at 10. And I have the Pacers being better than the Heat. I had the Pacers at 9. They have Halliburton down, and they lost Turner, but like the team still played incredibly solid. They basically didn't have Turner in the finals. They played pretty solid without Halliburton there. And it was like that one game. But like they were in there, they were competing, and they have such great chemistry. They play fast, they're physical. I could 100% see them being the 9 seed this year.
I'll say, judging between like these two teams, to me it seems like Miami's going to have a harder time kind of getting things going. Like this team on paper, I think has potential to do really well, but they need some time together. And I think the Pacers just have a little bit more experience. But I was going to put Miami above them. I was going to put it, so it would be Pacers and then Miami above. So I don't know. Ranking them 10 doesn't seem to me like I'd want to do that. I'd almost rather put Pacers at 10, Miami at 9.
I'd be fine with that. Those two teams were pretty interchangeable for me.
Bro, the Pacers just went to the finals, and we're not even going to put them outside the... Like, come on. Tyrese Halliburton, I know they don't have him, but come on.
Well, there's just other teams that I feel like are just going to be, obviously, better, but they are missing their best player. They're still a solid team. They can make the play-in. I think they will. And putting them in that play-in conversation, I feel like isn't too crazy. Considering they're, a 4 seed last year? Missing your best player and then losing Miles Turner. Like, yeah, you're going to drop a couple of spots. Or a couple 5, I should say.
Yeah, because I think their starting center right now is Jay Huff.
But that's a really good. That's a really good player, though.
No, I know he's solid, but I'm just saying I think it's either Jay Huff or Isaiah Jackson. Is it?
It should.
Or is it?
I would think they would start Jay Huff for the system.
That's what I think too.
Because that's just the Miles Turner replacement, like the same archetype of player.
Mm-hmm.
Miles, I feel
Who'd you have at 10?
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I had the Celtics at 10. Truthfully, I think the plan. What?
So why was my 11th for the Celtics so crazy?
Because I do think the Bucks are worse.
Okay.
I do think the Bucks are worse.
One spot.
Hey, it matters when we only got 15 of them.
Yeah.
I will say, when in the moment when you did like react the way you did, I thought like you had Celtics a lot higher. Like I thought you had them at like 6 or 7.
Yeah, dude, he made him seem like he had him.
That's my
6.
team. That's my team. Come
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
you know that's my
Fair
team. I
enough.
got to rep my boys, even if I have to put them at tenure. I got the Celtics, and I have them for the simple fact that I think they're like intentionally trying to. I don't think they're totally trying to lose games, but they've destroyed their roster for a reason. They're not trying to contend this year. This is really a building year for the young guys, and I don't think Anthony Simons. I'm betting all of my chips. I'm going all in on the fact that I don't think Anthony Simons will be here at the deadline. We actually had like a decent. I'm saying we. Sorry, that's a bad habit. The Celtics actually had a like decent piece with George Niang, and I was like, hey, it's not a great situation, but we have like at least a solid NBA player, even if he's not really a starter type. And then they got rid of him too. So it's like, I'm not convinced that we're actually trying to do something. I think the Celtics have Anthony Simons there just to hold cap so that they have a piece to deal at the deadline, and just bring in better role players for when Tatum returns. So for that reason, I'm going to put the Celtics at 10.
I think
So we
that's
have-
a fair.
Miles said Celtics at 10. I said Heat at 10. And I can't remember what Daniel and Vic, who you guys had at 10.
I think I said Pacers, but you know what? I could see the argument for the Celtics. My logic went to just head-to-head Celtics and Pacers. Like, these are two teams that were top of the East last year. Coaching isn't going to let the Celtics, I don't think, drop below playoff, like, seeding. But then again, like, if a mega fan is telling us himself that he doesn't think they're really going for anything this season, I may consider agreeing with him and saying that, yeah. Because like, looking at this roster, they really do just have Derek White and Jaylen Brown.
They have like their core pieces and then just like absolute amateurs to fill in the rest of the roster.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like you guys are trying to make it seem like the Celtics are just going to roll over and play dead. And I just really don't see that happening.
I didn't
Like, they still have a pretty solid team. They're better than all these previous teams right here. Like I said, still got Pritchard, still got Hauser, Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Simons. They have a very solid team to at least crack the play-in. Honestly, I had them a little bit higher than you guys ranking. I had them all the way like 7, 8.
They
Culture over
could
there is
finish
just too
there.
strong.
They could finish there, but I personally can't see it. I really do believe that the smart thing for them to do is, okay, we don't have Tatum. We're realistically not going to win this season this year. Let's develop some of these young guys and see the best that we can do this season, and then maybe go for a draft pick. Because we've seen the past couple of years, the bottom seed has not gotten the first pick. So they could ultimately tank this year and finish as a 10th pick and get the first pick like how the Mavericks did.
I was going to say
And
go ahead, sorry.
that would be crazy for them. That would be really good, off season, if you would really call it, for them.
I was going to say this is really similar to 2021 where they were extremely injured. They just had like Evan Fournier, Romeo Langford, those types of guys on the roster. And the next year they came back retooled after that pretty, I won't say it's horrible. I think this one will be worse. But after that pretty bad season and went straight to the finals. Like, they're probably honestly looking to get a high pick to trade the pick for like solid pieces. I don't even think their timeline is to draft, but that just getting the pick and having it as a bargaining chip is like a really big deal. So looking at their roster, I would argue it's pretty clear like that they're not trying to actually compete. They're going to compete because they're the Celtics. They're, historically they're a competitive team. They have a great coach. They have great pieces, but they're not, their goal isn't to like win games. They'll win, but I don't think it's just basically go out there and see what happens. And when the goal isn't to win the chip, I don't think they're they're going to compete as hard either, just as a logical understanding.
I don't know, because I could also see Jaylen Brown. I mean, there's always been that conversation the past few years, like, can this guy lead a team on his own? And it's a big opportunity for him, obviously, with Tatum gone. So I feel like he's going to want to take big advantage of that and show people, like, yo, I'm like that. Regardless, we do need to come to a consensus with our 10 and 9 seeds. I pitched the Heat and then the Pacers at 9. And I know you guys had the Celtics in there, so I don't know if we're riding with that. But
I think Celtics at 10 is safe.
That's what I think too.
I mean, even after like hearing everything, I just don't know if I'm convinced. Like, I really don't know if Missoula's gonna let them drop to 10. That seems very low to me.
That would be the smart thing to do. I mean, what is the point of just? I mean, yeah, you want to compete and everything, and
You
try to
tell
win the
Joe
title.
Missoula that and see how he reacts.
yeah, like
Well,
a lot of my decision, bro, is just based off like culture, like Brad Stevens and Joe Missoula. Like,
But culture doesn't
I don't-
win games. Culture
But
doesn't win games.
but it prevents them from falling out of the playoffs.
I don't.
When you don't,
I don't know,
have
you're-
an NBA roster, you just can't win.
They have an
Yeah.
NBA roster. All these guys are employed, it seems like, by the Celtics. But the Celtics are way. I think even right now, where they're at right now, I think they're still way better than like Bucks, Heat, and even better than the Pacers. Right then, I feel like people might be just a little bit too harsh on the Celtics and what they have. They still have an All NBA level player, an All NBA level defender on their team as well.
So did the Bucks, though.
They have one, and nobody else. They also have the sixth man of the year.
I was trying to say something. Can we come to a consensus on two teams that we think, so like Celtics and another team, or I don't know. I mean, even Kevin and I think. Kevin, what did you say at 10? I said Pacers at 10.
I had Heat at 10 and Pacers at 9.
This is a stalemate.
I don't agree.
My next
with,
rankings.
I don't agree with either of those, truthfully.
My next teams in the rankings were Celtics, and then I had Pacers right above that.
Really? You guys think the Pacers are going to be that bad?
Yeah.
Why?
It's
I
not
just-
so much that bad. I just think there's going to be a lot of other teams that are better.
Well,
That's what I'm
why?
saying.
I mean, you
And
think the
there-
Pacers are going to be better than the Celtics?
Yes, easily. They're like the deepest team in the league.
Miles, you're never, ever going to hear me in history give the Celtics this much credibility for the sole fact you're a fan. I think you should take it.
I don't. It's just like looking at this unbiasedly. The team just went to the finals.
Doesn't matter.
It
Yeah,
it
seems-
does. It does matter.
Their best player and their center is gone.
But
they have
they-
a solid team. Like 9 isn't horrible. I like some of these other teams ahead of them just so much better for this upcoming year.
Who, the Sixers?
I mean, I like the Pistons better, the Magic, Knicks, Cavs.
The Heat?
We'll go down the list when we get. We'll go down the list when we get there. I didn't have the Heat better than the Pacers.
Well, let's settle on 10. Who's 10?
I had the Heat at 10.
So one vote for
I think
Heat,
it's Celtics.
2 votes Celtics. Daniel, what's yours?
I mean, mine was. I guess I'll swing Heat because mine was Pacers, but I can see those being interchangeable. So
Bro, there's no
we're still-
way. I just think there's no way it's the Heat, man. There's
The Heat's roster is too good, and their
that's
entire
what, and then Tyler Hero's coming off an All-Star season as well, and then we've seen Bam be an All-Star before. I
Also-
just don't think that roster can be that low as a team. I know they've just been kind of mid the past couple of years, but I really don't see them being that low.
their last season was also completely plagued by Jimmy Butler, who's gone now.
Yeah.
And if we are gonna I said culture doesn't win you games. If there is a culture that can win you games, it's probably that one. If we do believe that culture wins games.
I don't know. We can go with the Celtics at 10. I'm cool with it. But then the season comes around. I'm going to tip my cap to both of you gentlemen. We can go Celtics at 10 for the sake of time, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just about to say the same thing.
All right, Celtics.
You guys know, when it comes to predictions, I do this. Y'all know that.
I'll give you credit. You've had some good predictions.
Who else predicted Caleb Martin going to the frickin' Mavericks?
It's incredible. It's an incredible prediction.
So we got Celtics at 10, and then at 9, you guys going Heat, Pacers, or the Cavs?
I'm going Toronto at 9.
What?
Yeah, I've switched up my view on Toronto. I know I made a reel hyping them up, but I am going to go Toronto at 9. Right here.
I had Pacers at 9, and Toronto a little higher than that. But I like the Pacers at 9 a little bit. Dan and Vic, I can't remember who you guys had at 9.
My question is, where do you guys have the 76ers at? Like, how are they not around here yet?
I had the Sixers
getting
interchangeable with the Pacers at 8 and 9 for the simple fact I have no idea what the 76ers team is going to look like to begin the season. Is Embiid playing? Is he not playing? Is he going to freaking retire? Is Paul George even decent anymore? If all those are true, then we're relying on VJ Edgecombe, Tyrese Maxey, and Jared McCain.
Don't forget Eric
Which
Gordon.
isn't bad.
Don't forget Kyle Lowry.
I've forgotten, clearly. And so I'm cool with putting them at 9. I had them at 8. Don't really care. Philly can burn off the map for all I give a damn. It's whatever.
You know, I think I'm actually I'm gonna switch my vote here. I'm gonna cast my bid for Philly at 9, actually. I'm gonna go 76ers at 9 there.
I'm riding with that.
Is it bad? I had it being with I put my ranking for the 76ers as if Embiid was going to play the season
Yeah, you should.
halfway healthy.
Oh, okay.
You know
well,
what I'm saying?
You should. I actually agree with that, too.
So I know he's going to miss games for sure. And I had them at 7th. But I mean, I could see where this team could really fall apart if he's not there, because he does elevate this team a lot when he's on the floor and when he's healthy. But that's the biggest issue and that we've seen with the 76ers. And I don't know. There's really nobody knows what's going to happen with Embiid. So I'd be okay with putting him there.
I think Embiid's the one guy we don't have to talk about because we know when he plays, he's elite.
Yeah.
I think it's everyone else.
Sure.
We know Embiid's going to play half the season. It's safe to assume that. Paul George just came off one of his worst seasons ever. Jared McCain had a really hot start, but is coming off an ACL tear. So he could come back and be completely normal. I think it's going to take time for him to ramp up, and those games are going to matter. Tyrese Maxey, and the rest of the roster is really old. They have VJ Edgecombe. Don't ask me about a high rookie pick. I think he can contribute, but there's always the rookie can only do so much, in my opinion, their first year. So unless they're a superstar, but I don't know.
I'll say the rookie already has a lot of attention. Like, I've heard from a lot of people, just like casual, people that watch the NBA, say that they already know who this guy is and they like everything about him.
Well, they said the same thing about Reed Shepherd.
It's true. I don't know. I have the Sixers higher than that. I really don't see them 9. Yeah, I don't know. With Embiid, they're a good team, but I think the Sixers, depending on how this season goes, and we've talked about this, are pretty much done, or not done with him, but they're starting to move in a direction where if he's going to continue to not provide results, then they're going to move forward in another direction. And when or if they do that, I still think this is a strong team. So for those reasons, I think they're higher than 9. But
just look at Jared McCain last year when he came in. Dude was balling. He was putting up 30 religiously. And it meant nothing to the team. They weren't winning games.
True.
I don't think VJ Edgecombe is going to come in and do what Jared McCain was doing in his rookie year. So, a rookie does have minimal impact to a team in their first year. Yeah, they can put up good stats. They can play great, but they're not going to move the needle to translate it to wins a whole lot. So I'm perfectly fine putting them at 9. If I'm being completely honest, I feel like that's a little generous looking back at my rankings.
Yeah.
Having them at 8, I'm like, dang, what the hell was I thinking? 8? Should have had them a little bit lower than that. So I'm cool with them at 9. I'm happy with that, actually.
That's the thing, too. I agree with what you said, because last season, I just looked it up, they finished 13th. I don't think they're going to be that bad this year. Maybe a couple seats higher. I think 9th is a cool spot if you guys are cool with that.
Yeah. There's 3 votes for 9.
If we did go into another stalemate, I was gonna say my hatred for Joel Embiid would literally swing my vote no matter what.
Okay, so now we get to the top end of the plan. I'm going to quickly recap our list here. So we have number 15, the Nets, 14, Hornets, 13, Wizards, 12, Bulls, 11, Bucks, 10, Celtics, 9, 76ers.
I think to round off the number 8 spot, this is where I would like to put the Pacers. In my list, I had them interchangeable with Philly here. I've already expressed my opinions on the Pacers again. I don't want to hate for another 2 minutes straight on them. So that's who I have at 8.
Someone else
I can
talk.
agree
I'm
to
thinking.
that.
I'm thinking.
I was just gonna say, like, I can agree to that. Pretty cut and dry here. I mean, I've been saying the Pacers are going to be struggling. It's not even that. I actually don't think that they're going to be struggling all that much. It's more or less just, again, how well these other teams, to me, look on paper and how, they lost their motor. I mean, Pacers ultimately lost their motor, and like Pascal Siakam's great, but I don't know if he's going to cut it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think the Pacers are due for this spot right here. I was going to say this spot could either be Toronto or the Pacers, in my opinion. But I would probably lean more the Pacers just because I would like to see what the Toronto Raptors can do. And I know I just want to see what they can do with Brandon Ingram. I know the roster's not that great.
No. I'm saying you're going to put a team you'd like to see do good over the team that just went to the finals. That's backwards.
Their stars players.
The finals team should always be above the other team because the other team hasn't shown anything yet.
See, I mean, in this scenario, they were a 4th seed last year. Hallie's out. Turner's gone. Lineup looks a little weird. I feel like dropping them 4 seeds as compared to where they ended last year really is not crazy. I don't think that's crazy at all.
Do we really think Toronto's going to be better than the Pacers? Dude, the Pacers are such a highly talented, perfectly constructed roster, even without the motor. Like, they could still win a lot of games. Siakam was an all-star last year.
Right, but how clutch Halliburton was for that team, they're going to miss that big time. And honestly, man, I just don't see it. I understand they went to the finals that year. Great for them, but it's a little different now.
I will say, too, I don't want to use this as, like, my argument because it's dumb, but, like, there was a lot of, like, silliness that went on to get them to the finals. Like, they had to get lucky a little bit, and I don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't want to make that my argument because it's baseless, but if Hallie isn't in those games and he's not knocking down some of those buzzer beaters, like are the Pacers able to finish out those games? We're gonna find out, I guess, this season.
But this is this isn't a finals thing though. This isn't a playoff Tyrese Halliburton buzzer beater thing. Like, yes, I think the fact that they made it there, I would argue the opposite of what you said is they don't make it without the other guys. Yes, Halliburton had the big moment, but it took the whole team to get there for Halliburton to even be in a position to win the game. And they just look at who they beat the entire playoff run. Like, dude, they took down the Giants of the East. I know Halliburton's good, but you can't do that with one guy. Not to mention,
and I
like,
mean-
Andrew Nemhard, like, Aaron Neesmith, Pascal Siakam. Like, dude, those guys are talented players. Benedict Mathurin coming off the bench. TJ McConnell. Isaiah Jackson coming back. Like, these are good players, bro. This is a really deep team.
I mean,
yeah, you know what? I was just say, you know what? I think you're right. I think we are underrating the Pacers a bit. I would probably put Toronto on this spot.
Yeah, I mean, this is what consensus is about. I guess you are kind of convincing me a little bit that this team, because one thing that did come to mind too is like the thing that they kept preaching about the Pacers is that those guys play for each other like the whole year, the way that some other teams do, but specifically the Pacers made it to where they did because they play well together, and even when one goes down, like they're still firing on all cylinders. So I could see an argument made, but Kevin, go ahead.
I was just going to say it's just hard for me to put them higher just because their big situation is just so cooked. And I understand they play fast. They play a little bit different than everybody else, but there's going to come a time where it's going to bite them in the booty. And
they're
I just
bigs?
really don't like, yeah.
I mean, Jay Huff and Jackson.
Yeah, bro, it's Jay Huff. Like, that's not doing a whole lot for me, man. Like, he's a solid player, good for him, but
I don't really see.
it's Isaiah Jackson, too.
I don't see him as like a giant downgrade from Miles Turner in the role he plays. I mean, Miles Turner was I don't know what option he was, but he would be at least I would say he's the fourth option on that team, potentially the third.
I understand, but with heads missing, it's kind of next man up at this point. There's going to be some guys that have to step up, and I just don't really know if I see that happening.
Kevin brought up something good that I don't want to stay on for too long, but like the speed of the Pacers. Obviously, that was heavily influenced by Tyrese Halliburton. Do you guys think that'll change going into this season for the Pacers? Will they play at a slower pace?
I don't think they'll play as fast, but I think they will still play fast. They'll be on the top end in pace. Obviously, you can't.
That's kind of their identity.
Yeah, you can't be like the top without Halliburton, but
Let's say where they're going to miss him in that regard is, they'll still play fast, but also like his decision making too in the open court. Like, he was so good at that, and they're going to miss that a lot. So
it's just like,
What
are we going to put the team that's proven themselves time and time again and just went on an incredible playoff run, took the Thunder to 7 games, by the way, and probably would have won without an injury over the Toronto Raptors? Like, come on. Like, they have to be on top of the Raptors.
I mean, didn't you say a second ago the finals didn't necessarily matter for another team?
I said it didn't necessarily matter in terms of an entire regular season. In this case scenario, because that scenario was different. This case scenario, I think they're better than the Raptors.
Right, but I felt like during the regular season, the Pacers weren't anything super, super insane. When they got to the playoffs, man, they just kicked it into another gear. And they were just whooping everybody like we saw, like we watched.
I mean,
and I don't know. I'm assuming the Raptors fully healthy and everything goes completely right. They got a solid squad over there. They could be decent. And past couple weeks, past like month or two, we've been a little high on the Raptors, like having them like mid-level, like 6-7 seed, and looking into it a little bit more. Or even back then at that time, I was like, I don't really see it. But looking into it a little bit more past week or so, I do kind of like that a little bit more, having them a little bit higher. And that's why fully healthy, like, I think they could definitely be better than the Pacers.
I'll say it kind of seems like we're going to be digging the Pacers' grave here soon in terms of the rankings, because like I don't think they can go much higher than 8 or 7, because in that case then they haven't really lost anything, right? Then they're basically equal to what they were ranked at last season, and if that's the case, that doesn't make sense to me. So I think it should be between two teams here.
Yeah. I just think them going 20-9 after the All-Star break was pretty good. I'm putting my vote in Toronto at 8. We'll just take our vote.
I'm going Pacers at 8.
Yeah, I was going Pacers at 8 as well.
I wanted to go.
I'm just going to remind you.
Well,
The Raptors finished 11 last year.
I know. And I want to go Raptors, but I feel like we're just going to keep going into a stalemate.
Y'all are
But,
going
I
to put
mean,
the Raptors above the team that just went to the finals.
Bro, that was last year. I don't really consider that for this upcoming season. I'm considering what they have right now.
But what
And
if
right
the,
now, the
what
Raptors.
if the Raptors done? They haven't proven anything.
Then we done it. I mean, dude, you were high on them up until like an hour ago, having them like fifth, sixth seed.
And I
Out of
changed my
curiosity,
mind.
where are they on your list, Miles? Where do the so we can get that on the record?
I have
where do
them
the Pacers
right
rank?
The Pacers are at 7 on my list. So it's one spot, but I think putting Toronto over the team that just went to the finals that's not right. Yeah, it's just not right to me. But if
I
I'm
could just see them
outvoted,
having
I'm
another-
outvoted.
I could just
If
see
we
them
put-
having another Dallas situation, how they went to the finals and then they just completely fell off a cliff. Something
That's
like
not-
that could happen to the Pacers.
That's not the same at all. Come on.
Yeah, and
Dallas had
I was
6 guys.
Right. And I was getting to it, but I was saying, yeah, they completely fell off the face of the map, but like that could happen to anybody. Could happen to the Raptors. They don't have their best player, so that's kind of just my thing right there.
If we put Pacers at 8, are you going to put Raptors at 7, or are you going to move them lower or higher? I mean,
Raptors would be right at 7 for me if we go. It's Pacers and Raptors are these 2 spots for me.
okay. I mean, yeah,
That's what
we think we came to a consensus then.
I think we should put Raptors and then Pacers.
You made us go into a stalemate again?
He's right. He's right, bro. He's right.
Dude, I'm starting to think about it. I really don't think like Miles said, the Raptors really haven't proved anything. We haven't seen what this team has played like with Brandon Ingram yet. And the Pacers, they lost Halliburton, they lost Miles Turner, but this is still a great team regardless. The Raptors are still kind of a young team starting to try to find their identity, and they really haven't found that yet. I don't think it's right that we put the Pacers below them just yet.
Between those two teams, did one team get better? That's my thing. I feel like if we're just kind of boiling it down to its most simple form,
the Pacers got worse because of Halliburton's injury and losing Turner. The Raptors stayed completely stagnant. But that's still 11 seed last year versus 4 seed last year. So even if they got worse, I don't know if they're dropping that low to a team that finished 11th and did nothing the entire offseason. Literally had my vote for the worst offseason because they were completely stagnant. All right, let's flip a coin. Who's got a coin?
We can go with what you guys said
All right.
for the sake of it.
All right, so we got Raptors 8, 7 Pacers. All right. First playoff spot. I'm casting my vote for the Hawks here.
I like them there too. I had them 5th on my list, which I felt like it was a little generous. I mean, KP is KP. Is the guy going to play? Who knows? But Jalen Johnson's going to be back. He was having such a great year for them last year. And I really like this team. I feel like they took a step in the right direction. So I'm cool with them at 6 or 5.
I think I was leaning towards putting the Pistons here.
Oh, okay. Okay, no, hear him out. What? How come?
Well, I mean, how high do you guys have them? Now that reaction made me think that maybe I'm off my rocker or something.
Hey, them boys
What'd you
is
say?
legit. Them boys is legit, Daniel. They got Jay Nivey coming back too.
I do think that this is a completely different team than the worst team in sports that we saw a couple of years back. And Cade's good, Duran's good, Thompson's obviously good, but I just still think that this team, when they rank up against guys like the Hawks, because I guess that's where we're going to go with this. So like Trae Young, Dyson Daniels, Kristaps Porzingis, I think that squad is a little bit stronger and a little bit more put together than the Pistons. I don't know. I don't really like. Maybe it's just like kind of going off of what we've seen in the past with the Pistons, but I just don't have a lot of faith that they're gonna make the necessary steps to jump up, 2 or 3 rankings here.
They should have beat the Knicks last year. The Pistons should have beat the Knicks last year.
Yeah.
I know. They were so close, but I definitely had the Pistons a little bit higher than that. I do think, contrary to what Daniel said, I do think the roster is a little more complete, especially on defense and also experience as well. So I had the Pistons all the way up to 4 for this upcoming year. And then Hawks 5th or 6th, kind of shuttling back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
So for my 6th, I would like to see the Heat go there, and then the 5th would be the Hawks. I just think that with the roster that the Hawks just got this offseason, they have a lot of potential to do good things, and I know that we don't really know how good Porzingis is going to be. I just feel like with Jalen Johnson coming back healthy, Reese Chase taking a step, then we got Dyson Daniels, Trae Young. I just really think they're going to be pretty good defensively if everybody stays healthy. But the bench depth is where I think they're going to struggle.
The Hawks?
Yeah.
I mean, they have
That's where my worry is.
They have good depth, though. Like, they have Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Mohamed Gay was a starter for a majority of the season. Like, they got some players.
Yeah.
Luke Kennard, one of the best shooters in the league, coming off the bench.
No, I'm saying I'm worried about it, like putting them higher than 5th.
I don't think they should be higher than 5th. I think 6th or 5th is kind of like their sweet spot. I feel like 6th and 5 should be very interchangeable for Miami and Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm actually cool with Miami 6th. Truthfully,
yeah. I kind of like Miami at 6 a little bit better than Atlanta, but I don't think either of them should be higher or lower than 6 and 5.
I agree.
I want to clear something up really quick. I forgot that we had Heat at our disposal. I was definitely okay with putting Heat at 6.
Daniel loading the chamber with Heat at 6. Okay, so Heat 6, Hawks 5th. Okay.
This is where it gets sweet. You guys already have my 4 seed. That's Detroit. I love them this year.
I got the Magic.
Oh,
sorry. I thought you were done. Go ahead.
See, I had the Magic at 3. And I guess they could be a little interchangeable too. It's just they missed Paolo for some time, and they just hit a dud of a stretch at a point in the season. They just look terrible. And say what you want about the trade, it is nice to have Desmond Bane there. A lot of their weaknesses get addressed. I do like the Pistons at 4. I don't think they're quite there just yet to be a top 3 seed in the East, maybe the next year after. I'd like to see Cade turn down the turnovers a little bit. I want to see the team healthy. I want to see Malik Beasley stop gambling, and they can definitely be up there. But Pistons at 4, but I don't hate Magic at 4. There's so many interchangeable teams that are just like one off from each other that could kill this list. This list could be booty backwards at the end of the season. We're going to be like, we're stupid. But I like Detroit at 4. I feel like Detroit at 4 is safe.
Yeah, I'm convinced Detroit at 4.
Really?
Yeah.
Who do you have them?
Dude, I think after what the Pistons have shown last season, to put the Magic ahead of them, I feel like is a little bit unfair. They almost beat the Knicks. The Magic, they've been first round exits of 2 past seasons, correct?
You're the fact check guy.
They lost to Boston in the first round last year.
Yeah, and then they lost to Cleveland the year before that, right?
Yeah, but they also played the 2 best teams in the freaking league conference,
Yeah.
which makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like the don't get me. I feel like the Pistons have a little bit better experience just going after that playoff run, and then Jaden Ivey's coming back. They're gonna. I really do, and then they got Duncan Robinson this offseason. They're gonna add more shooting for Cade.
They did technically lose Malik Beasley though. I don't really know what's going on with him.
I think I saw optimism that he might come back. I don't know if it was just his camp or whatever saying that, but
I don't really know like if he's allowed to play or how that works. Truthfully,
I think it's still being looked over and investigated. But also the age of the Pistons just scares me a little bit. Still a lot to learn for these guys. Beef stew. If I predicted the 25 ejections this year, which was completely botched, if anyone knows what I'm talking about fan-wise. But, yeah, the age just spooks me a little bit, and also the health does spook me a little bit. Like I said, Jaden Ivey, he has like a little bit of history in his young NBA career of missing some time. Like I said, I feel like Pistons at 4, to me, is pretty safe. Magic at 3 is slightly generous. But, like, I don't know why. I'm just pretty high on them this year. And so is ChatGPT.
That's insane. Why would you leak how we do these podcasts?
Only reason I say that is because I saw another podcast and they asked ChatGPT predict the NBA Finals winners over the next 5 years, and they had the Magic winning 2027, winning the finals before the Celtics ever won again, which is kind of crazy.
I think this comes down to one thing. Do you guys think Anthony Black will be able to shoot this year?
No.
Sure. I'll put it in there. He can knock down some shots, yeah, every now and again.
My biggest thing with the Magic is they don't have shooters. Defensively, well, I was getting there. They don't have shooters outside of the one move they made this offseason. And I'm just wondering if that is enough. To me, that doesn't seem like enough. It's just everything outside of that. This team has length, versatility. Every player almost on this roster is switchable. Like, we're going to see Suggs, like, fully healthy again coming in from a training camp. Oh, man. I don't. Who do you guys think is better defensively, the Magic or the Pistons?
Magic.
I hate to be this guy, but man, matchup matters so much, I feel like, in this scenario. I feel like I like the aggression and energy Detroit plays with better, but I feel like Orlando has the better players, if that makes sense. Like you said, kind of versatility and switching. But if they had Detroit's intensity and physicality, it'd be no question Orlando.
I think I like... My thing with Orlando is, can they get enough done on offense? Because that was the problem last year. And is Desmond Bane really going to solve that? The other part of that is Ron Holland's going to take a step this year. He just came off a great summer league. But, like, how big of a step is he going to take? And then, like, I don't think Isaiah Stewart is a very effective NBA player on a contending roster. I don't see, like, Malik Beasley is a huge loss. Karis LeVert was their other big pickup. And I don't, like, he's good offensively. He's definitely not great defensively. It's like, I just feel like there's too many ifs right now. Like, there's one thing that's for sure with the Magic, and it's they're still going to be probably the best, or probably second best behind the Cavs, defense in the league, or in the East. And they did just get better offensively. The Pistons, I'm not sure if they actually got better this offseason besides the return of Ivy. because I think Duncan Robinson is definitely a step down from Malik Beasley. So assuming he doesn't play, which I think is where it's heading right now.
I think individual-wise, Pistons, obviously with age and experience, your guys are going to get better, or at least they should. They'll get better in that remark, but like as a team and additions, like not really a whole lot was done. And the Magic, like I mentioned, like addressing their biggest weakness and adding Bane, great player. That's kind of my final decision as why I have Detroit 3 and Orlando. Detroit 4 and Orlando 3.
Yeah, I think I'm riding that train. That's my vote as well.
I mean, yeah, I'm in agreement too. You guys have pretty much gotten this exactly how I would have put it, so Pistons at 4 is fine with me.
Pistons at 4, and then 3 will be the Magic. Okay,
All
2
right.
and 1.
So, 2 Knicks, Cavs 1. GMLB family, we thank you for joining the season opener. You see how bad I stuttered? That's why I don't do outros.
Is it crazy that I might have the Knicks at 1?
No, I don't think it's crazy. I think if there's any year the Knicks and Cavs do win a finals in the next century, it's this season. It's this season or it's never happening.
Yeah.
So it's like never happening. Never. So I'll probably have the Knicks at 2. I don't know. They got Mike Brown out there on the floor. I don't know how that's going to go, to be honest. I don't really have any predictions for that or how much it's going to affect at all. Maybe they'll play Jalen Brunson iso ball in the final minutes a little bit less now that he's the coach, but we'll see. I still like the Knicks at 2. I could see them like ending with almost the exact same record. It's just like one of them's going to have the tiebreaker.
Yeah. My thing for the Knicks this year is you have the entire season of Mitchell Robinson this time. And we saw just how much of an impact he has on the game during the playoffs last season. But also, now that Tibbs is gone, you have Mike Brown in there, you can potentially unlock your rotation much more. Plus, your starters aren't going to be playing the extensive amount of minutes that put all the mileage on their bodies going into the playoffs. Not saying that was a big factor this year. It has been in the past. And who says they couldn't have played better or been more healthy, been more ready to go if they hadn't had all that mileage. So you could say last season was just a fluke, the fact that they all remained healthy. But anyway, they added Yabusele, in my opinion, one of the better role players in the league. Had a great season last season, especially when everyone went down for Philly. And they also added Jordan Clarkson while maintaining Deuce McBride. So it's like they've added pieces on this team that can actually come off the bench and be effective, guys that aren't DeLon Wright, which I think they got better. I think I know Mike Brown is notoriously an offensive-based coach, like a running gun, just judging off his time in Sacramento, and then, of course, with the Warriors when they were doing their whole three-point revolution. So I'm assuming this team is going to be more offensive-minded, but I do think that's a good thing. I think this team has the talent to run much more in transition. I believe they had one of the slowest paces in the league last season. So it's like, I think that's going to unlock this roster incredibly. I think they're going to have a new identity outside of just Jalen Brunson iso ball. I think everyone will be involved much more in the offense. There's going to be more of a rotation. And if they could just maintain, just rest on their laurels a bit on defense, that was the identity. Just maintain the defensive identity under Mike Brown. I think they'll finish the first seed.
They definitely can. Like I said, I see these two teams being within 4 or 5 games of each other when it comes down to the end of the season. Maybe even closer. But, man, Cleveland is just so good. They're so complete. They did lose Ty Jerome, added Lonzo Ball. If he can stay healthy, he'll be so good for them off the bench to just run and gun and just be able to play make for those guys. It'll be close. I'm not mad with either one at 1 or 2, but I see Mobley having an insane jump this upcoming season. Throwing back to Miles' take last year, predicting Mobley to be an all-star. I saw him being an all-star, just not that soon. I saw his first-time all-star potentially coming this season or next. And the fact that he's already hit that stride It's kind of scary, to be honest, because this guy has so much room to get better. If he can travel a little less, that'd be pretty good because he travels a lot. It's kind of crazy. But, man, they're just so complete. They absolutely killed it last year. I mean, it looked like this team was on pace to be 82-0 at one point until the Celtics beat them. But, yeah, I just think they're so much more of a complete team. If these two teams stay healthy throughout the whole entire year and then meet each other in the conference finals, that'd be sick.
Yeah, that'd be incredible.
But that's just not how the NBA works.
I had Knicks at 2 and then Cavs at 1. I just can't put a team that went 64-18 below the Knicks when they just had a new head coach change, and they added Yabusele and Jordan Clarkson as well. But like you said, the Cavs team, they were really good regular season wise. They just blew tires in the playoffs and ultimately just got hurt and gassed out to where they couldn't go to the finals, which sucked because I would have liked to see them there. The Cavs, I think they're going to be a really good regular season team again. I think they're going to finish. They might even break the record that they had last year. I think that was a franchise record for them. I could see that happening. You said Evan Mobley got better, and he'll get even better this season. And I know there was an article that asked one of the Cavaliers, I think it was Donovan Mitchell, and they were asking him about how he's feeling going into the next season. He said this offseason they learned what they did wrong, and they fixed the problems, and that they're ready to take on the season. So I believe in the Cavs.
Yeah, I mean, this is tough. I think I had putting the Cavs at 1 as well, but I think Miles does bring a lot of good points up. And honestly, for the simple fact that the Knicks got rid of Tibbs, I want to put him at 1 anyway. But I think I don't know. I mean, I think the Cavs. It's really hard to be the number 1 seed 2 years in a row, and this team has proven themselves to be, just as good as basically every other team in the West or East. But when I put them head to head against the Knicks, I kind of like the Knicks' chances in like a winner take all kind of situation, playoff series or not. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about rankings, and we're talking about kind of regular season. So like Victor said, I think they're going to be a really good regular season team again, and I think they'll do well. So I'll put them at number 1 still.
All right. So GMLB family, you have our list. Here it is. The final GMLB list. Number 15, Brooklyn Nets. Number 14, Charlotte Hornets. 13, Wizards. 12, Bulls. 11, Bucks. The play-in tournament will be at the 10 seeds, Celtics. Number 9, Sixers. Number 8, Raptors. Number 7, the Pacers. And outside of the play-in on the good side, we will have number 6, the Miami Heat. Number 5, the Hawks. 4, Pistons. 3, Magic. 2, Knicks. And 1, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Let's play some 2K.
So, as we know, NBA 2K is about to come out, and we got some 2K ratings. And this is NBA 2K ratings, higher or lower?
Here we go.
Jamal Murray or De'Aaron Fox?
Jamal
Ooh.
De'Aaron Fox.
I know 2K, whenever a player's a little bit better at defense, typically they might have a higher overall. I might have to go Fox on this one.
Oh, wow. Are we guessing their overalls as well, or just which one is higher?
Just which one is higher, but if you want to guess the overall, you can.
So the way they do ratings now, I'll be off by 10 points.
I'm going to say De'Aaron Fox is an 87 and Jamal Murray is an 86. Or no, flip that. Jamal Murray is the 87. De'Aaron Fox is an 86. That's my guess.
I don't know how many games did Jamal Murray miss this season? Anyone know off the top of their head?
Google does.
Quite a bit.
He did start the season. That's actually a good point. He did start the season really slow too.
I
Matters
definitely
how you
think,
finish.
I definitely think, though, you're right, Kevin. I think Fox is going
Played
to be
67.
higher. Played 67 games. It's quite a bit.
Didn't Fox score the most points in a game this year?
Was that 60-point game this year? Last year? I think that was. I think he did. Yeah, it was a 60.
Or was it Jokic? Because Jokic had that 61 triple-double, right?
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I'm going Murray 87, Fox 86. That's my guess.
I'm going Fox 86, Murray 84.
Fox had 60 in November.
I'm changing one more time. This is my final guess. I am fighting a battle in my mind right now. This is my final guess. Fox 88, Murray 87. Final guess there. There it is.
What's the play?
Jamal Murray had the higher 2K rating with an 87 overall, and De'Aaron Fox had an 86 overall.
Oh, I had it. I had it and I switched it. Hey, Vic, when you edit the reel, you better edit that so I get the good one. I get the good take. Oh, dude, of course.
All right. Round 2, J-Dub or Pascal Siakam?
That's
They're just such contradicting players.
That is a really good one. Oh, man.
Ooh.
J-Dub was an all-star this year.
So is Siakam, though.
J-Dub was all-NBA.
Good point.
And I feel like he might get a little bonus points since they won the finals.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
I think I'm going to go J-Dub.
I'm going to go. My guess here is J-Dub is a 91. Siakam is a 90. That's my guess.
Yeah, I think J-Dub is higher. I'm going to go 87.
Whoa. That's a little low, Dan. I ain't gonna lie. That's a little low.
The 2K inflation numbers are crazy, dude.
That's deflation.
You guys were all correct because J-Dub had an 89 overall and Pascal Siakam is an 87 overall.
Wow.
No, 80. Yeah, he was 87. I was looking at the other one.
Bro gagged.
I did.
Bro's gagged.
Is that
But yeah, that's all I had.
Dang.
That's all we had?
That was like a commercial
Yeah.
break.
We should have done that in the middle of our rankings.
Yeah.
Should've.
And now we're going to take a break from rankings and do a quick 2K. We should start doing that. That'd be a nice season for
Next week,
switch
when we
up.
rank the West, we're gonna run it back and we're gonna do it correctly.
Do a little commercial break.
But only one per break. So it's just like we do it and then get off of it really quick.
That'd be funny. All right, well, GMLB family, that was your Season 4 premiere. The boys are back for another season. If you enjoyed the full-length podcast and you want to see more episodes, you can find us on YouTube, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. If you want to see our short-form content and interactive games, we are on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat. I'm surprised. I haven't messed that up in a really long time, all those platforms. But yeah, GMLB family, if you want to email the show, the email is gmlbfans@gmail.com. Email the show. We read all emails on the show. And with that being said, fellas, what is our predictions for, let me cook here. What is your prediction for the amount of games the number 1 seeded Cavs will win this year? Let's do that.
64. 60.
I'm going to go 60. Ooh, what did you say?
I'm gonna go 61.
I'm going to go 68.
Damn.
Wow.
Does
That's okay.
does that break the record? Or did,
No, the record's 72
No.
or 73 now. Sorry, excuse me.
oh yeah, sorry. I'm gonna go 60 flat.
Yeah, I'm with Daniel. I was going to go 60 flat. All right, GMLB family, we'll see you in the next one. That being said, peace.